Now I'm gonna do a song. Jerry Jeff, I hope you're watching this morning because I promised him I was gonna play a much better guitar. Which isn't fair to these black guitars I play. They're good, they're just big. A lot of people say that it's awful for my back. But also, this is just, you couldn't take this on the road. You'd break it. We break a ton of those, and the good people at Epiphone, they just keep giving them to us. We don't break them. Brian breaks them. He gets angry at the crowd. I'm always like, they're fine. He's like, they were yelling beer run too much. Why do you hate beer run? Hayes likes beer run. All right, I'm gonna do this. This song, I came from Oregon, and in Oregon, music was sort of from Mars, the Kingsmen, Quarter Flash, and then I moved to Texas, where a lot of people have their own song. They're not even trying to get someone else to sing it or trying to be a big singer. They just have a few songs about somebody, and a lot of men and women in Texas know how to play basic guitar. It's just a part of their state, you know. And so when I moved there, I started picking up guitar from a guy named Mark Watkins and Craig Lockhart. And the lifestyle I was living at the time really was similar, I think, to Jerry Jeff Walker's. Not when he was like a Texas cowboy, but in his first 5 records, they called him the Gypsy Song Man. And at that time in '85, he was playing solo and really doing, kind of going, you know, it's like he had just finished that rowdy country phase, and he was just musically ready to get back to some folk. And that's when I came into the picture as a fan with this record called Gypsy Song Man. And I remember liking it because of the acoustic music, but when I saw it, that's when I felt like that was my long-lost dad or whatever. And I remember this song, even this story, I remember he told this story that night, and that was the night when he was playing this song. I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to be a folk singer. And it was this song. It just moved me too, you know. It was like, it wasn't just that I didn't connect to it as someone who traveled a lot. It made me want to travel more. I first ran into Stoney, a bar downtown, Richmond, Virginia, spumming around, suitcase to suitcase, started in talking, finding out about the things that we shared in the many, many miles we've been. Had this old gray pillowcase full of books by Durrell. Played this old concertina guitar, all beat up, it played like hell. Until you got him started singing a gospel song. He'd play 'em all night for nothing, tell you stories till dawn. He said, hey, get your bags, sun's up, it's time to roll. Ain't no better time than early in the morning to be out walking down the road, seeing another day beginning while the fools are rushing on by. Like some Mr. Independence, we're taking our own sweet time. So we walked on out the highway under a clear blue sky. I was listening to the tales he was telling, drinking warm red wine about the night he rose 7, about the girl who had done him wrong, about everything that he could think of while we walked along. Yeah, Stoney had a magic that made him hard to forget. Like the night we rode down that old Ohio highway in a pickup truck that nearly wrecked. A crazy woman driving, all drunk up and carrying on, till Stoney finally calmed her, singing them gospel songs. La-da-da. Split the road in Norwood. He just shook my hand, said, "I'll see you someplace, cowboy." But you know, he never has. We were that free there, just walking down the road. Didn't used to care much where the road was gonna go. No, no, oh, 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 oh. Ooh, ooh, A few years later, we found out that old Stoney was a bullshitter, just no doubt about it. Still, there was just something about the way he would tell you something, man. Made you never want to doubt it. It kept you going when the going got rough. He could get you through the lean time just by making it. When you're young, you don't tell the truth. Your parents will say, "Oh, that's a fib. You don't want to be a fibber." And you're supposed to get the message, but if you don't get the message, a little bit later in life, your parents will say, "Hey, that was a lie, man. You don't want to be a liar. Come on. Knock that off." Usually that does it, you know. But if it doesn't do it, you know, eventually you'll find that it'll be your friends, and they'll be calling bullshit, and they will be calling you a bullshitter. That usually does it. Nobody wants to be a bullshitter. But if that don't do it, eventually they'll call you a folk singer. And they will cheer for you. They get you a hotel room. Oh, I first ran into Stoney, a bar downtown. We were in Richmond, Virginia. That Lord was just bumming around. But we were that free then, just walking down the road. We didn't always used to care so much where that road go, where that go. Man, one of my top memories of being on the road. One time I was in Canada with Jerry Jeff, and we were playing somewhere. I was the opener, and the show got over, and the dressing room was starting to kind of fill up, and him and I were just sitting on this couch, and he grabbed it. He goes, "Oh, check this out!" And he grabbed a guitar, and just me and him. He looked at me and he played Moon River. I guess he wanted me to see that he'd learned it. But man, that was one of the best versions of any song I've ever heard, ever.